Hello! Hello, everyone. Are we here and present? I can't see us on the stream, but
It'll be a little delay.
There'll be a little delay. Who really cares? We're here, and that's what's most important. Hello. We are playing Bluebeard's Bride today, which is a very magnificent tale of feminine horror by Magpie Games, who we have also played their wonderful Avatar Legends game. So this is the game we will be playing today. I'm about to introduce, first of all, our lovely Roll2Cast regulars, and then our also lovely, wonderful guests who are joining us for today. But if you don't know who we are Roll2Cast. We are an any-winning variety TTRPG podcast. Each season of our podcast is a different game system, so check out that. If you like it and you haven't done anything else, leave us a review, come join us in our Discord, follow us on all of our socials, all of that good stuff. And then of course we also do our monthly live streams, which our wonderful Bonza patrons vote on which game we are going to play. So if you want to have your say in what's the next live stream, go and become a patron, because there's lots of fun things there for you. So that is all from me. Let us go into the introductions. I am Ellen, and I will be your it says gatekeeper.
Oh.
I'm the groundskeeper. I'm also the
Groundskeeper.
I gatekeep everything. Everything good from you gremlins. Yes, I will be the groundskeeper today. So this will be my horrid tale of gothic mystery. And just to refresh people, my pronouns are she, they. Why don't we do our old and crusty Roll2Cast people, and then we'll do our guests. So, Sean, would you like to jump in and introduce yourself?
Yeah. Just before I do that, if anyone else is following on the YouTube, are we completely frozen? Because I'm seeing us as frozen on Streamlabs, and the YouTube isn't moving either.
Oh. Yes, I'll just refresh the YouTube page. It do be looking a lot like we are frozen.
Right.
Frozen?
Bill, help.
Well, do you have Discord at the front? Have you got Discord as the focus
At
at the moment?
As far as I am aware.
As in, you're looking at the Discord page.
Oh, I can be. I don't.
I think
have
that'll. I think when it's up, that'll make it move again. So try to spend a minimal amount of time fiddling in the background, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, now we're moving again.
Thanks,
Well,
Easy, and thanks, Bronx.
I'm just not going to be able to, unfortunately, look at anything, which is... Okay.
We'll let you know what's happening.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sean. I am another member of Roll2Cast. I am the one, for better or for worse, running the stream today. And so that's where you're getting all this fun chicanery and, let's just say it, fuckery going on. So I'm coming in fired up and hot, and I'm really annoyed, but that's all fine and dandy. It's the energy we're getting today. Just gotta fucking embrace it. So yeah, if you like what I do, if you want more of this bullshit, if you go onto Twitter at Sean Means John, I'm much more even-tempered and some may say witty, most don't. But yeah, that'll be myself, and I'll be playing one of the sisters today. Who is it going to be? We'll find out. Yeah, happy to be here. Happy to play. I was reading it all last night.
Great. Let's go to Phil now.
Oh, I am the person who dropped Sean in the shit today.
With guests as well, so new people to add on Discord.
So yeah, I'm Phil. I'm actually not at home, which is why I would normally run the stream and get frustrated instead of Sean.
Yes, I'm feeling
with Discord and with Streamlabs. But Sean is getting a little window into what I do every month, trying to make it work. But yeah, I'm Phil. So the socials, I'm at Scruff with that's spelled SKKRUF. It's my old gamer handle, still using it. And yeah, follow me for, I don't know, hot takes on TTRPGs. And I'm he, him.
Excellent, wonderful. Let's jump to let's go to yours because I think Mary is going to need some time to defrost. Not that she's frozen right now, but we are aware there's a little bit of a lag with Mary. So yours, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, hello. My name is Yoz. I am an Adelaide, Ghana land-based artist and office worker. I'd love to do some role play, be that with board games or pretending I am different people when spam callers call me. That's as much as I'd like to share at this point. My pronouns are they, them.
Excellent. Thank you, Yoz. And Mary, take it away.
Hi, I'm the Ice Queen. I might be frozen right now. My pronouns are she, they. I'm talking a little slower than usual because I'm just aware that I might be doing something weird on a screen. But I'm a writer and a director and an actor, and I also work a little bit in education. And I am very excited to get spooky today.
Guys, we're going to get spooky. Excellent. Well, let's jump into the game then, shall we? So, for those who don't know, this is based on the gothic tale of Bluebeard's Bride. A young woman is wed off to a wealthy man who gives her all of the rings, all of the keys in his house as he has to leave on their wedding night for business. He tells her that she can explore anywhere in her new domain except for one room. Overcome with curiosity, the bride eventually looks inside, finding the bodies of all of Bluebeard's previous wives. In some versions of the tale, she joins them in their unfortunate fate. In other versions of the tale, she escapes with her life, but is never believed by the town of Bluebeard's horror and cruelty. That is the preamble. You all, sisters, for that is the player name, the sisters, you will control the bride. You all together make up the bride, for you are elements of her psyche. Now we have the animus, which is the animal instinct, the hands of the bride. We have the fatale, the sensual, lustful part of the bride. She controls the lips. The mother, the stern authority figure who seeks to soothe wounds. She is the figure of the bride. The virgin, the innocent, naive part of the bride. She is the bride's eyes. And the witch, the part of the bride that is somehow connected to that which is otherworldly. Does anyone have a preference? Has anyone thought about which sister they would like to play? Sean, yes, you in the back with your hand raised, sir.
I would be interested in playing the witch. I would also then need to at least be told the 3 face moves because I've been forbade from looking anywhere else, and I don't want to crash this computer if I look anywhere besides this stream.
No worries. Well, in which case I will quickly ask the witch some of her wedding preparation questions. Witch, what is the bride's hair like?
The bride's hair is a muted silvery blonde kind of tone. It is quite long, coming down, actually, past her knees. So it's very long. It is luscious. She an individual. Oh,
we've
Mary
lost Mary.
You're
Uh-oh.
You're back.
Sometimes she disappears and sometimes she comes back.
Mary's the true ghost of this. We thought,
Yeah,
hey,
she's
we're
the
doing a
ghost.
gothic horror. We'll get an actual ghost for you.
Yeah.
It looks like she is a. We're sticking her up. We'll just keep going through, and hopefully Mary will unfreeze. And just imagine that we've got some sort of gun pointing at her for the. Oh, she's back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, back. You're back.
So it's it's kind of a muted blonde, silver hair down to the knees. Some might say it waves in the wind even when there is no wind around.
Fantastic.
And it always seems immaculately, if it was around in the time, shampooed and cleaned. Like it's constantly in a state of absolute enviable perfection.
Amazing. It seems touched by
Canteen
something.
advert.
Yes. Yeah. Well, my other question for you is, what gift did you present to Bluebeard before the wedding?
The gift that I presented to Bluebeard before the wedding was our journal entries to give a true insight into who we are as people, our innermost thoughts and feelings. It is the journal entries that we've kept since a teenager as a show of good faith and giving oneself over, as is believed to be the tradition.
What could be more intimate than giving Bluebeard a part of your mind? Let's move to another sister. Oh, sorry, no, I will finish Sean first. So, as the witch, you have a +1 in blood.
Yes.
Your 2 stats are carnality and resilience. What would you like a 0 in, and what would you like a -1?
Let's go the 0 for resilience and the -1 in carnality.
Excellent. Fantastic. Okay. Moving on. Next sister. Who would like to join?
Like to be the
Let's have our
animus.
guest.
Oh,
Yeah.
You'd like to be the animus, yes?
Yeah.
Excellent. You are the bride's hand. So please answer me. What are the bride's hands like?
Fidgety.
Mm-hmm.
They've got some of those strange little like they're just like discolored, like she smokes, but she doesn't smoke.
Ooh, fantastic.
But it's just stuff. She's always fidgeting, so there's just always something. And
Yes.
they're long but thick, like not bony. She's got strangely big hands. And grasp,
Hey, it's how you use them.
a basketball, like. But they
She
didn't
could've-
have them at the
she-
time.
She could have gone pro.
She could've. Yeah.
Excellent.
Someone invent basketball.
I don't know. Also, don't
It
mind
was
my dog,
invented at the
everyone.
YMCA.
He's
I feel like it was invented and not discovered.
You might be right.
Wonderful. Excellent. So, what are you leaving behind? No, sorry, I might ask someone else that. What weakness do you give away when others hold your hand?
Whoa. I think like instead of being able to hold like cards close to your chest, if someone's holding my hand, they can kind of see how I'm feeling. Like if they're like sweaty or trembling, or if they're like steadfast, someone can tell how we're feeling when they're holding our hand, which is not always
Excellent.
good.
No, I can't help but wonder what Bluebeard felt in your hand on your wedding day. But we will. Actually, no. Answer me that.
I think it was like cold slug, like cold slugs, like a mixture of fear and excitement and nerves,
Love it.
and
I mean,
traces from the gardening from earlier.
Thank you so much, Yoz. Well, let's fill out your stats. You have a +1 to carnality. So your other stats are resilience and blood. What would you like a 0 in, and what would you like a -1?
Go a 0 in blood and a -1 in resilience.
Thank you. Okay. Mary's fighting for her life.
And we've all been swapped around on the Discord as well, which is interesting.
No.
I'll be playing the role of Mary today.
Ben Fells 5 has just said, Mary, give us a sign. Let's go for Phil. Phil, which element of the bride would you like to play?
We've lost Mary. So what have I've got left? I've got the Virgin.
Yep, you've got the Virgin, the Fatale, the Mother, and that's it. Yeah.
Play the Mother.
Mother.
Excellent. The Mother is a wonderful archetype. I can't help but read the description. You walk with authority, others ache for your approval and long for you to soothe their wounds. Mother, what is the bride's figure like?
Continuing with that basketball theme, she's very tall. She's like an Amazon. She's she may have like a trembling heart, which you see through her hands, but as a person, she is very tall, but not kind of whip-like. She's tall and athletic naturally. Strong.
Fantastic. And what are you leaving behind from your provincial life to become Bluebeard's bride?
So she used to roam all over. So she used to just go on these long walks, like rambling walks across through the whole countryside, visiting lots of different people, catching up on the news with them and their families and from about the whole province. But now she can't go on those walks. She's Bluebeard's property, and she'll have to stay close to the home. No more long rambling walks.
Since our bride is not used to being kept inside. Okay, we have Mary back, maybe?
Hopefully.
Unsure. But Mother, please, you have a +1 to carnality, as does the animus. What would you like your remaining stats to be in blood and resilience? You have a 0 and a -1.
+1 carnality.
Yep.
I'll take a 0 in blood.
Yep.
And minus. No, I'll take my 0 in resilience actually.
1 in
Change
blood.
my mind. -1 in blood.
Fantastic. So I forgot to do your faces. But Mary, you're back. Mary.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay.
Hello.
You have a choice of Fatale or Virgin.
Obviously. Why are you asking?
I lost the beginning, so I'm not sure what's obvious. Is it Virgin or Fatale?
I'm not playing the Virgin. Come on.
Okay.
They're very diametric choices, aren't they?
They sure are. It's nice to end up on that decision. Okay, Fatale, what do the bride's lips look like? Or what does her
Very
mouth
lush.
look like? Luscious.
I don't think they had gothic, but I'm like out there foraging for berries to stain my lips. They're lush.
I think you dropped out, but I'm going to assume blood-stained red.
It's workable because you can just have no Fatale in you, and I can just excuse myself. If I'm ruining the game, I'm very happy to bow out.
Let's see if you survive the questions, Fatale. And then maybe if the connection does not hold, we will give Mary a bow, and carry her frenetic energy into the game to uphold your spirit. How about that?
Sounds good.
Let's do
Sacrifice
that.
you to the gods of Discord.
yes. We need to sacrifice one of you. I'm afraid this was the real motive in there. Asking you here. Tell me, Fatal. Do you trust your generous husband, Bluebeard, or do you hold unkind suspicions?
Trust him, but I'm very attracted to him. I think there's a burning connection that I cannot deny. Should I turn my camera off? Is a question as well. Technically speaking, would that help?
I am unsure. I am no tech wizard, nor am I a tech witch. Phil, do you have any ideas?
I don't think that would help.
Okay.
Forget.
Well, I might say adieu then maybe to Mary. We tried our best. Yes, Bronx has said, sorry, Mary, you are the sacrifice.
And the strong power of the week. It's, yeah.
Well,
join you.
Thank you, Mary, for joining us, albeit briefly. Stay in chat. We'd love for any of your suggestions if you want. If not, go enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Yes, we've got many burning laptops in chat. But let's give a little round of applause to Mary.
So much.
Thank you so
Have a
much
great
for
day.
joining us. Goodbye,
Bye.
Mary. Goodbye. All right. Well, it's just us.
Discord sucks. You might have to give Sean a second while he moves around where we are.
I just moved everyone back in, and
No,
it's gonna be fun.
That's all good.
I'm happy
That is all
happy
good.
to start, and I'll just
yeah.
Well,
I'm sure our viewers don't mind.
Yeah, Xenochlorus said, if I ever get the loose cash to sponsor a Star Trek Adventures game, I'll hire Mary back to guest star. Thank you, Xenochlor. We'd love to have Mary back. We'll just have to, I don't know, sacrifice someone else to Discord before she joins us. Yeah, buy Mary a computer. Okay, well, let's go. Animus.
Yes.
Choose your face. The Brute. You can investigate. When you investigate a mysterious object, you can ask another question. You get a free question from me, essentially. But every other sister loses the opportunity to investigate that item. So remember that. The Rooster. You can take a trauma for yourself and give a direct order to a non-playable character, and they have to do it. There is the Shield. You can try and take away trauma from your sisters, but risk the chance of trauma on yourself. So you have the Brute, the Rooster, or the Shield.
I reckon I'm going to go the Rooster. Being able to get an NPC to do whatever I want could be very valuable. Even if it means trauma.
Oh, and it will. It will. Phil. Phil, mother. You can be the bear. If a sister provokes trauma, you can step in and punish her, essentially. Not allowing her to share the trauma amongst her sisters. The Kingmaker. You can essentially grant a male servant or horror status beyond their station and heal a trauma. Or the Martyr, if you forgive a sister's sins, you can take a trauma 1 for 2 to heal her. So you will take 2 traumas and she will only take 1. The Bear, the Kingmaker, the Martyr. What do you choose?
The bear. So if someone does trauma, I'll be like, that's on you. You keep it.
Pretty much. Mother's love is tough.
Yeah. She's going with my imperious vision of Bluebeard's bride.
Wonderful.
She's tall and powerful, and she doesn't take
crap
from the other aspects. Yeah.
Sean, how are you doing? Are you ready for your face?
Yeah, bring it on, whatever. Come on.
That's
ready
the
for
energy I
anything.
was so hoping for. So there is the medium.
Mhm.
You can spill your blood to commune with the horrors of the room. You mark a trauma, and I will share with you the truth about what happened here.
Yep.
The Reaper, if a fellow sister shatters, if she takes all the trauma she can take,
Just find trauma.
you feed on the soul itself, and you
through
can
trauma?
heal yourself. Yep. Or the Viper, if you care for a servant by poisoning them with your lies, i.e., caring for them but insincerely,
They die.
they choke on your words and die.
Ooh, I'm very...
What do you choose? Which? Viper, Reaper, or Medium?
I am going to... you know what? Let's have them absolutely die. I was quite happy. I did like the idea of being able to spill some blood and find a bit about the room, but I feel it's juicier to commit some lovely unaliving of a servant. So yes, let's go with that.
Word murder.
Yeah.
You're doing some
Suicide.
murder. You can say murder here. It's not
No,
TikTok.
it sounded better to say unaliving. It sounds
Unalive.
more in keeping of the gothic, because you are now unalive.
Yes. We have stolen your life from you.
Committed
Wonderful.
suicide.
Wonderful.
Oh, you know
well,
what? I'm gonna listen to Bronx here, and one.
put two
Yep,
Sean's
there's good. You know, ask and you shall receive.
He's requesting 2 Seans.
Yep,
He wants 2
I
Sean's.
can oblige that.
Okay, excellent.
Here at Roll to Cast, we'll give you 2 Sean's for every
Do
one.
whatever you want. Just keep
Truly.
watching, please.
Truly. I did not read that. Mary that disappeared. Lovely. Well, sisters, we begin the game in truth now. You were wed to Bluebeard, perhaps on your sprawling rural cottage. You make the trip back to his estate. On the way, he tells you that he actually has to leave for work. Unfortunately, your wedding will not be consummated this night, but nevertheless, you are the lady of the house, and you are to have full dominion over it. He gifts you a ring of keys in every kind of size and shape and made of different materials, and he bequeaths it to you, telling you, explore the house, it is yours now. But there is a door on the furthest wing of the west corridor. That is my private room, and I would like to have just a piece of the house, just for myself. Do not enter it, I ask of you. Once you arrive, he takes off in a separate carriage, waving you farewell, and you are walking now on the grounds of your new dominion. Would anyone like to jump in and tell me, what does this estate look like? Is it shambling? Is it glorious? Is it strange and gothic? Does it have spirals and turrets? Who would like to flavor the house we will be investigating?
I feel like it is. Yeah, please.
I just want to add one detail that it's ivy covered.
Ivy covered. Lovely.
Yeah.
It chokes the house.
Yeah,
Yours.
it's like even when it's daytime, it seems like the house is at nighttime. Like it's like dark brick and like stained glass windows that, when you're inside, don't give much sunlight or cast any shadow.
Amazing. It's like the
Gloomy.
dark brick of the house absorbs all light itself, giving it a austere shadow. Sean, would you like to add a detail about the grounds, about the house that you now own, or the bride now owns?
I think one thing can it be what is around the house and kind of what is in the vicinity.
Absolutely,
Uh,
absolutely.
I think what is kind of mysterious about this house and is a little bit foreboding is you do see more than normal a bunch of animal tracks that have embedded themselves in and around the house more so than usual, even though you don't see animals in the area. There's not really like any besides the tracks themselves any evidence to suggest that wildlife exists in the area, and yet large paw prints do seem to permeate the near vicinity of the grounds at all times. But no one has seen anything.
Something lives here, or many things live here that you are unaware of. They go about leaving their tracks, but never being witnessed. I like that a lot.
Can no one hear me on the stream? Is that what is happening currently?
I can. What do the chats say? Easy says I cannot hear Sean at all.
So that's a bother.
Did you unmute your own voice?
What do you mean?
Your own microphone?
I shouldn't have.
So we will be on desktop audio, and you will be on the mic there.
As far as I can see, I'm talking on the mic, and it's not muted.
And it's going up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is this another sacrifice?
Bronx.
No, he's running the stream.
Bronx can hear us, but low.
Okay. Yeah, we're cutting.
Make sure
that
that level is up on yours, Sean.
Yeah, it's desktop.
Push up the level.
Desktop audio is on -2 dBs, and mic aux is on -15.2.
Okay, I think Easy's just saying you're lower than everyone else.
Push that up.
Yep, I've pushed that up, and we'll see if it does anything.
Pump it up. Pump it up.
Louder.
I love that we're telling like this out of time gothic mystery, and it's like if we can just go into the audio settings. A modern horror,
gothic
if you will.
Discord.
Discordance.
Excellent.
Word.
For anyone who didn't hear Sean, he added the wonderful detail that there are paw prints in the grounds itself, that there seems to be mysterious creatures or unseen creatures that are leaving their mark in the grounds. I love it. Thank you, everyone, for adding details to this house. Now, very important, the ring, the symbol of your new wedded life to Bluebeard. One sister may have the ring at any time. You may pass it amongst yourselves. Only the sister with the ring can propose truths about rooms and act violently, but you are all working as a team, and you may trade the ring amongst yourselves. But who would like to begin with it? Which sister?
I'll take it.
There you go.
Wonderful. Mother, you take the weight of the ring. And I might ask you as well to pick the first key as we enter the ground.
Do we like go into like the entrance hall first, and then it's like a room off the...
Bluebeard's house does not necessarily work like a real house.
Right,
there are corridors and doors leading to unseen places.
Okay, so do I just describe the key? Is that how I pick a room?
And you can be as intricate as you like. I might ask you more details, because this will allow me to base the horrors of the room upon your key.
It's
so
a
the
silver
first
key.
is like a bone. It's white, very white, and it's long and slender. It's not made of bone, but it's like a bone. That's what it invokes when you hold it.
See, it's slender and bone-like without necessarily being made out of
bleached
bone.
White, yeah.
Pure
slender, yeah.
White. Excellent. You find a it's almost hard to find an actual door as you walk along the outside of Bluebeard's house, finding a small hole that looks almost like a fingerprint along the walls. You realize that it matches your key. You push it in, turn, and open to find a very dusty old room with various pieces of furniture that are all covered by white gauze cloth. There is a bed covered. You see a long, tall object with a faint song emanating from it. A wardrobe. Every item in this room is covered, except for small petals that are on the ground. Old and dried, they crunch under the bride's foot. White rose petals. What do you do, sisters?
Gosh,
This is
is
now your turn.
Sisters.
is everything in this house so old and decrepit?
Remember,
Well, this
you
is
can
just one room.
remember you can investigate objects. You can take stock.
Oh, that was the witch talking
well-
in your head.
Oh no, absolutely. I just want to remind you
Yes.
as you walk around.
Thought we had cleaners, frankly.
Well, where
Just
are the
good.
servants? Where are the
Yeah.
servants? I was promised a life where I was going to be tended to.
Like if these petals were strewn as a romantic act, sometimes the romance can continue to cleaning up after yourself. So
Dear sisters,
one
if
can
you
hope.
can't go 5 minutes without another person in the room, you're not going to enjoy your time here. Explore, have fun.
Well, what's making this sound? I want to investigate this tall covered object's making a sound.
Fantastic. You would like to investigate an object. Wonderful. Well, that means that you are able to ask me some questions. You head closer to this long, tall object with a faint song coming from it. A tweeting, a chirping. It sounds like bird song.
Yes. So perhaps a bird cage.
As it,
Perhaps.
the car
Covered
shuffle?
in cloth. You are able to now ask me 2 questions. Whose item is this? What memories does this item hold? What about this item is odd or uncanny? And why did Bluebeard keep this item? But currently before you, you see what looks like the silhouette of a bird cage covered in cloth with a very, very faint, almost raspy sounding bird song.
Can I uncover it as part of this investigation?
You can uncover it. Yeah, you don't necessarily need a specific move for that, but you reach out and uncover
Reach
it.
out and uncover it. Who did this bird belong to?
So what you see what you see as you pull the cloth away is a tiny bird that is just skeletons tweeting out amongst the filth in its cage. Almost like all of its feathers and skin itself has been lost to time, as it still remains in the cage, chirping, almost now screeching at you as it has been uncovered. You'd like to ask me a question, is it? Whose item
This
is this?
dead bird? Whose bird was it? Who kept this skeletal bird when it was alive?
Perhaps our dear
Why?
husband.
It was the previous lady of the house. Her dear
course.
bird.
And
You can ask me one more question.
What? Yeah. Why did Bluebeard keep the bird?
Hmm.
He kept the bird as a way to remember his wife. And that is all I will tell you.
Well, that's my move for now. I mean, I'm
Is it-
holding the ring, but
Yeah.
like, yeah. Do anyone else want to do anything in here?
Anyone can investigate other objects or take
Or get a
stock.
vibe check on the room.
What else is
Yeah.
kind of within this room of kind of no? There you said there were the pedals on the ground. There's the cage that kind of sits prominently here.
There is
Sister, the wardrobe. Sister, there's a wardrobe in here and a bed.
Yes.
Sorry,
I will
is there any bird food?
There is in the cage. There is a feeder that has been heaped with food. There is a mound of seed. This bird is now long past eating. Just let that sit in. I will tell you as well, which, since you asked, the screeching of the bird has not ceased since you, the shaky hand of the bride pulled away the cloth, and another sound has begun to join its horrid chorus, a moaning, a low, raspy. It seems to be coming from the bed.
Oh, I think I'm gonna try and look. Sean thinks that it'd be nice to get the bird on side before dealing with whatever the hell is in the bed there. So the bride is going to come dear, going to open up the cage door and look to very calmly and gingerly pop a hand around the bird, almost coaxing the bird to sit upon her palm as she aims to gently and gingerly stroke what would have been the feathers of this long-aged and decrepit bird in an attempt to soothe it.
You would like to care for someone.
I would.
Excellent. When you care for someone, you ease their suffering and bridle their torment. They may demand a demonstration of your sincerity. And I have to ask you, Witch, are you sincere?
Yes. Yeah. The act is to satiate and calm this creature and stop that incessant screeching. So the intention is clear, and hopefully to use a bit of, look, if the mother's not going to tend to the poor dear, then I may as well take up the mantle.
Wonderful. You reach out your hand, taking this skeletonized bird, what might once have been a small parrot, and as you do so, the bird rushes at the cage, sinking its hooked beak into the bride's hand. And squawking, screaming, as now the moaning from the bed grows louder. I will say, which you might take a trauma for yourself.
It might be a trauma, yes. I'm not going to use my face move as it feels like a bit of an overreaction to.
Yeah. You may share that with the Animus, as the Animus is the representative of the hands, but
No,
What have you just got us into here?
I'll give the Animus the pass. The Animus couldn't deal with that quite yet, so let's just deal with it ourselves, shall we?
Wonderful.
I don't have to punish you.
Phil is waiting, just like
The bear does not have to punish you yet.
Is this bird
Well,
still sinking in, or did it take a bite and kind of retreated back into the safety of its cage?
Or is it like it's just stuck in? Like,
what it does is it sinks its hooked beak into you, and it does not have eyes, but you can almost feel it trying to look at you. It detaches itself and falls onto the ground, trying to leap in flight. However, its feathers, its wings now no longer work, and it falls onto the ground pathetically, now limping towards the bed, squawking sporadically.
The bride stands on it.
Ah, is that
On the
It's
bird
just
or
a
a
creature.
bear?
you would like to dirty
On
yourself?
the bird.
On the bird.
You would like to
Yeah.
dirty yourself with
I
violence,
have the ring,
Mother.
so I can do violent things, right?
Yeah.
You
You're
can.
gonna treat it like an old rose petal.
Yeah.
Mm.
If it's going to spurn, the witch's care, then the mother will punish it. The mother is I have the face of the bear, and I won't
You
I won't
do.
brook this in my own house.
Absolutely, yes. Everything is under Mother's control, as it were.
I will grind its bones to dust if it shows me violence in my own domain.
Wonderful. Mother, would you please roll me 2d6s?
First roll of the
Yes, I shall do that.
stream.
Or would you like me
I
to
shall
roll
do
for
that.
you? Do you have dice?
I'll have to do it on my phone here.
But that's okay. Let me know if you would like me to roll, as I have many dice.
What?
6, a 5, and a 1.
Ooh,
Oh dear.
that's not good.
Oh dear.
You s-
I don't know what's good. What's good? What's not
So
good?
it's same
Yes,
same
you're
by powered by
aiming
the apocalypse. So 7 to 9 is a mitigated
Right,
success,
right.
and 10 to 12 is good. Sorry, Alan.
No, that's you do step on the bird, crunching it under the bride's
Do I add
heel.
anything? Is that carnality, resilience, or blood?
Yes, so that would be your carnality, which you
It's
have a plus one.
So
7.
it's 7. I get a 7.
Oh, 7. Wonderful.
Hey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful. All
What
right.
I
So
asked.
you are
That's
choosing.
what I get for being the mother.
Fantastic. So are you trying to disable them, silence them, or mutilate them?
Silence.
Silence them.
Absolutely silence. This thing is you pecked and it's squawking and the moaning is rising and this thing is flapping on the floor, squawking, and that is a poor introduction to my new home, and I am going to silence it with the heel of my boot.
You do. The cracking sound of the bird's skeleton sounds throughout the room, and it falls silent. Mother's action has been swift. However, that does mean that, and I'll leave this up to you, Mother, for you can choose on a mitigated success. Does your vulnerability open you up to trauma, or has your carelessness left you in a bad spot?
Carelessness.
Your
It
carelessness.
was a rash action. Yeah.
It was. It was indeed. And you see a cloth-clad figure sit up from the bed, her features obscured by the gauze. An arm raises out to you, and the harsh whispers of a woman's voice say, "My pet, you've taken my pet, my only friend in this silent room." And she looks to do much the same to you,
Oh.
bride, seeking to break your bones.
Can I tell this cloth-clad cretin
Oh, a good alliteration.
to go back to sleep
Hmm.
with my
yes,
rooster
sister.
face?
Sister, this is our house.
Yeah,
We should
go
take
back to
command of
sleep.
it.
You don't have to deal with you just rest.
You're commanding the horrors of the room. Interesting.
Also, while Ellen's thinking of looking at that, is it right that once you use a ring move, you then have to pass off the ring to another sister? I believe that's correct. If you use a ring move, you then have to relinquish it to someone else.
My violence would
Yes.
be a ring move.
Yeah, so you
Yes.
have to choose someone else to now bear the ring.
Well, the animus is acting, so I think it's natural that animus takes the ring.
Cool.
Full. Mother, you are immune from trauma until the animus passes the ring.
Okay, cool.
Lovely. So, Animus, please tell me. It seems like you are trying to. You're not.
I had a truth brewing for this room, and I can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
That's okay, but it's an open discussion amongst all of you.
Yes, that's
so.
true. Yeah.
The withered hand of Bluebeard's previous wife reaches out to grab your wrist. And Animus, is it correct? You are commanding her.
Yeah, just like go back to sleep. You can't bring it back to. Just shut up. Just. You seem like you're having a bad day.
Bad dream.
Quiet you.
Get some more kit.
I don't know if this is with the way that you have phrased it. It seems like you are trying to. Are you trying to tell this woman to stand down for her own good or for yours?
I feel like we've just crushed a bird. We're capable of crushing another bird. So I reckon for her own good, go back to sleep. Just you're already wrapped in gauze. What are you gonna do?
As the figure grabs your hand, it rakes its fingers along yours and recoils upon touching the ring. The ring. My ring. He said it would always be mine. That this was my house to control. But I see I have been replaced. And shrinking, the figure lays back on the bed, now silent. What do you do?
Right.
Yeah. You dunk on it.
Sisters, I think maybe this woman was she shut herself away. The bird was her only friend.
Oh yeah, she did it to herself.
She shrank from life with her bird as this only companion. And unlike us, imperious and tall, she was weak and she collapsed in on herself. No wonder she was abandoned.
Yeah, plus she dressed like a mummy, so dress for the job you want, and she manifested this.
I like your callous attitude to this, Animus. It's very refreshing.
We're a very callous bride. I love this.
I feel as though we've picked we three sisters are a little bit more, well, blunt than the other two, maybe, who are currently dormant.
Yes, this bride has
no
sleep. Yeah, the Virgin and the Fatale are no longer here. Perhaps the bride got rid of them many years ago.
Crushed.
Now, that is
Animus,
the interesting truth. Argue amongst yourselves, sisters, because the Animus will decide as the bearer of the ring.
You don't believe husband dearest had anything to do with the entrapment of this poor unfortunate soul?
He's so kind and gentle.
Mm.
And anyone who can look after his hair and beard so well could definitely look after a wife.
Oh, damn it. I'm the only one without a beard again. This sucks.
And where is he now again?
Off getting some serums for his beard, surely.
Looking after us so well.
We don't need looking after. That was this woman's problem. She demanded to be taken care of at every turn, and her squawking became intolerable.
And the rose petals are just not good enough. She really just didn't clean up after herself. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Troubles.
Animus, do you propose this? Do you counter this truth? Do you take it? What is the truth that you propose about this room?
This was the refuge of someone who wasn't getting what they wanted. So tried to create their own tranquility, but suffered in it.
I see. The bride swoops down, picks up the crushed skull of the bird, and takes that as a token of loyalty to
Yes.
Bluebeard. You have earned yourself one token. Now the Animus proposing a truth is a ring move. Animus, would you like to pass on the ring?
Yes, I must.
You
Pass
must,
it
yes.
to the witch. Here. I'm passing it up, but I don't know which.
Who are you trying to pass it to? The witch?
To the
Or-
witch.
I believe it's to your side.
It'd be to the green side of the screen, not the blue side of your screen. That way, yep. And then
Ooh.
I will
Necessary.
grab
Movie
it.
magic.
Oh. And I'll be able to know in a
Wonderful.
few seconds whether that on stream played
Hey,
out.
let it be said that Rollcast has has high production.
High production value. Just ignore the first.
Just
45
ignore
minutes.
Mary's
Ignore all of that.
cameo.
Ignore all of that. Hey, this is what happens with live streams for the podcast, where we have the joy of editing. Excellent. Now that the ring is safely in your grasp, witch, do you no? Tell me what ring. What key rather? What key do you pick from Bluebeard's ring?
So the witch starts absentmindedly flicking her fingers through the many keys that are kind of lumped onto this massive circular coil, and her fingers touch on a much softer key that almost feels like it gives in to her touch, so it indents in, but as soon as she releases the pressure, it retains its form, so she can bend it, she can twist it, but as soon as she lets go of the pressure, it retains its rigid form. It is iron cast. It is
I see.
It is a strong, dark silver. Appears like brutish and stoic and masculine on the surface, but it bends to the slightest touch of her fingers.
I see. So something that is malleable under the bride's fingers, but otherwise seems coarse
Yes.
and rough. You
To start wandering down the corridor.
You take that key. You find a lock. It is a more traditional lock this time. That is old, rusty, and opens up into what seems to be a smoking lounge. It has velvet couches, a globe bar, very, very dark interior. As Yoz initially described, the house seems to suck all the light away. And heavy, heavy curtains are already draped over the windows of this room. It seems to be a gentleman's room. There are many portraits of ladies in disrobe, as well as gentlemen's cloaks and hats. hung up along the wall, and a library full of many books about man's great exploits. And inside is a man in a very fashionable jacket who is smoking a pipe. He looks at you with a rakish grin and says, "You must be new."
You must have me at a disadvantage.
Well, I wouldn't say that you are disadvantaged, lady. For this, he gestures to the room, is now all yours. Just because Bluebeard took a liking to the look of you, I suppose, as he puffs
Does that make
away.
you my creature too?
Creature. I suppose I have been described by some women as that. Do you mean, am I under your control, lady?
Many creatures seem to prowl these grounds, but those are wild. Are you tame?
Oh,
Are you housebroken?
under the right touch. I am tame, or I can be wild, lady. The choice is yours.
You know how to make a whiskey sour?
The lady would care for a drink?
Is that going to be a
Please.
problem?
Of course not.
And,
He turns to the bar, and his wolfish eyes, still fixed on you, begins pouring various decanters into a glass. It almost hisses as he stirs away.
what do you
While
think?
he's working, I'll take
Oh, you go.
stock.
You want to take stock?
Well, yeah, while he's working away, gives the bride has a second while he does his flair and he tosses the bottles from hand to hand,
Throwing
and
bottles around Tom Cruise
Yeah.
style.
balancing things on the back of his hand. It very quickly bores the bride, and so she takes stock around the room while she waits for her drink.
Lovely, lovely. Yeah, so when you take stock of a tense situation, you can ask me one question. What stalks the bride from the shadows? What traps have been laid for the bride?
Mhm.
What does this place demand of the bride? And what horror here is hidden from the bride? Which question
it's
would you
either-
like to ask?
I think it's either hidden horror or what lurks in the shadow?
Yeah.
Yeah, what stalks the bride from the shadows? What
What
traps have been...
stalks or what's the hidden horror? Because obviously this is like a welcoming room, right?
Yeah.
This is like a social room with a very welcoming character. So something's hidden from us.
I think that's
here,
right. Like something is just deliberately designed to obscure something.
Yeah. So which of
horror
those do you
here
think
is-
is?
Oh, yep. I'll allow the sisters to talk.
I
through it.
haven't. Yeah, I haven't heard from the animus. What's the
I think the hidden, yeah, this
hidden
is
horror?
this is a whole lot of look at this.
Yeah. Look at the
Is
right
this
hand.
Yeah.
while the left
so yeah,
hand is
what
doing something
hidden-
else.
Yeah.
What horror does this room hide from the bride?
Well, I will say twofold. You have seen men grin at you like this, just as you have seen beasts in the wild, ready to devour their prey. His grin reminds you of that. You have also noticed that while the portraits of these ladies are somewhat beautiful, well painted, sure, their eyes and expressions are fearful and sorrowful. That is the hidden horror here for the bride.
Let's
So moving up.
let's double down. Let's go for a bit of Look, while we're here, sisters, we may as well have a bit of fun. We do have the upper hand after all. And the bride is going to stroll into the space, looking to make herself at home, pick up one of the coats and wear it. One of the jackets that you said adorned the space.
Mm.
We put a hat on as well.
Absolutely. Goes together, does it
May.
not, dear Animus?
Yeah.
As you adorn the jacket, you slip into something very, very comfortable. The man whips around, and from behind you, you feel his breath on your neck. Is that it? You would like to act as one of the gentlemen?
It's not so hard to do, is it?
Sometimes it's fun to emulate the beasts you hunt.
See if you have a taste for it, my lady. He claps his hand together, and suddenly, the door opens, and a unknown figure throws a girl into the room. One of the servant girls. She is not wearing much clothing, just covering herself, and she is shaking and trembling. Go
the
on.
bride will the bride will approach her, and she dips her gaze in fear, and the bride will lift her chin and say, "My dear, you're shaking. Let's see if we can't brace you with something. What's your poison?"
I'm not allowed to drink any of the Bluebeard's
Lady
finery.
of the house,
Uh,
and I am asking you what you would prefer. Bluebeard is not here, and I am.
she seems to look around, fearful, awaiting the trap that may have been set for her, and replies, "Truthfully, my lady, I wouldn't know what to ask for. All that I drink is water from the well."
The bride will take off the jackets that she's worn and put it around her.
Oh, pity.
Yeah.
It seems like yep.
Can the bride also
get her fresh water from the bar, and that will be my care for her. The mother ultimately would like to like turn her against the wolf.
I see.
Turn her into the wolf wants the bride to be like the boys and do what they do and brutalize this woman. But if I can lift her up, then together we can brutalize him. And his see how you like, being one of the predators will be like, yes, and as the Animus said, he can be the one we hunt.
Get to be one of the boys after all.
Do you care for someone?
Care
the
for
maiden,
her, yeah.
The maiden move. You put the coat around her shivering shoulders, and a warmth seems to radiate first from the bride, then from this girl. Almost too hot for your hand to hold her. And you see her face growing and her teeth becoming fang-like as her shivering whimpers become growls, and she begins to stalk towards the gentleman at the bar. What are you doing? This is no place for women. I've always said that. Command your beast, woman. What do you do?
Oh, the tone has changed now, hasn't it?
Tee. I'm having fun.
Sisters, I am more
Says
than
the
happy.
bride.
Sisters, I'm more
Perhaps a
than happy
drink
to
of
let
choice.
this play out.
Perhaps a drink of choice is at the bar, just not in a decanter yet.
Well, do you, which is this? Do you have the truth of this room, or do you need to see more?
I would like to see this hit its finality.
Well, perhaps we can enjoy our drink while
absolutely.
we see what.
You got rid of the coat that was wearing so fine on us, so I at least need to enjoy something while we're here.
We
Yes.
still have the hat.
As we do.
As the gentleman begins to now plead for the bride. Please stop! No, this is my room. We were allowed. You know, as long as we didn't touch the lady, we were allowed this room. Please, I'm only doing what Bluebeard has allowed me to do.
It's interesting that you're using a lot of past tense because that is absolutely correct. You were allowed.
As
No longer.
the girl's fingers, now claws, slice across his throat, almost taking off the whole head. It snaps back and blood spurts from his neck, splattering the bride's lovely dress, some falling into her glass at the bar. And the girl, the servant girl, drinks heavily and greedily.
Have the eyes of the women in the portraits changed?
Yes, they are now hungry. And the girl begins to slurp, wiping the blood from her face, and begins to, eyes locked with you, stalk towards the bride.
Are you satisfied yet, witch?
Almost.
Sniffing the air, the girl growls.
The witch is going to, the bride is going to briefly get down upon her knees to be at a lower level to the girl, this beast that is before, and says internally to the two of you, need a bit of patience and a bit of care. And so the witch is going to look to close the gap between the small now beast and herself, and is going to reach out a hand to grab the paw, the gnarled fingers of this girl, and gently squeeze it with the same kind of forceful care that she did the key that buckled under the weight, and is looking to, some might say, caress this horror.
Does sound a lot like you're trying to caress this horror.
Caressing horrors. You love caressing
Excellent.
horrors.
This one specifically is a ring move. So unlike caressing just anyone,
Yes.
this is specifically a horror, which I need to roll for resilience, I believe.
You roll blood.
Blood.
Roll blood for me.
Great.
Blood.
Which I believe is blood carnality.
No, sorry. Blood is blood, and you are the witch.
Yes.
You have a +1 in blood.
Hey, look at that. Yes, I do. Cool. Let's go for it.
You should be good at caressing horrors as the witch. I think
Right.
that makes sense, right?
And that is going to be
Flank
an
or strength.
8.
Wonderful, wonderful.
I will shift its attention, but only if I participate in some way.
Well, I I throw the question back to you, Witch.
Yes.
The snout of the girl now pressed into your hand as she licks any remaining blood that is spattered onto you. My lady, you must be hungry. All of the women in this house are. As she points her head towards the still bleeding, somewhat gasping gentleman in the fine coat.
Hmm. Oh.
You must eat, my lady, to keep up your strength.
One wouldn't want to wither away when in Rome. And so the bride will move past the woman, eyes fixated on the man on the floor with raspy breath, blood still trickling down from his throat and pooling upon the ground beside him, next to the broken glass that shattered from the bar. And she will kneel down, her knees upon the glass, broken, that crunches under her weight, and she'll lean forward and getting her head quite close to the man by his throat, and will whisper, as her long hair kind of covers upon his face, and she whispers, oh, this is such an action line, whispers to him as, your membership to the Gentleman's Club is hereby revoked. And she will drink deeply from the man, tearing flesh from his throat as she greedily obliges.
Wonderful. You feel nourished in some way, Witch, but the bride is not used to such coarse food. The bones that have crunched, that prick her lips, the blood that, no matter how much she drinks, does not seem to sate her thirst. I will say that the bride will take a trauma, and that would be shared amongst the sisters.
Yes, which does still go to Phil because the ring passed from the animus to the witch, so your immunity is gone.
Unless anyone
No,
would
I
like
could
to
pu-
do
I
something
could
about
pu-
that.
I could punish you for this.
Could be the face, could be your face move.
No, I could punish you.
I think I will.
Oh.
That's such a delicious
Careful not-
line. I could punish you. I think I will.
I think I will. Careful not to lose yourself, which the responsibilities of being the lady of a house require that we keep up some manner of decorum, that we keep ourselves standing tall and not reduce ourselves to base desires. This creature only demanded that we join in some small way. A sup of blood would have satisfied her, and yet you decided to plant our whole face inside this ruined creature's neck and surrender ourselves to beast, the base beast within us. And I think such indulgence is too dangerous to be countenanced. And I believe you should rein yourself in. You've had altogether too much fun in this room, and you will have to bear the consequence of that indulgence alone.
The witch
Fantastic.
the witch feels this tirade and is taken aback. And as she feels the sting of your words, can't help but say, "Mother, may I remind you, we are the lady of the house. We own everything here, including the aspects that you would balk at."
I don't balk. I simply wish to keep myself above such base instincts as the current residents seem to bathe themselves in.
The bride's jaw now bloodied and red as she pulls herself back from the viscera of what once was the gentleman in the fine jacket. Witch, please take 2 trauma for me. Mother, you must also take a trauma for your failure to prevent the witch's bloodlust is evident. Animus, you're fine.
That's just one off the bucket list for me.
Also, Ellen, there was a question here on the Discord
Oh,
that
yes.
you said, how can a ring pass between different aspects of the same character? By Honest Auntie L.
As in, so the ring passes between the different psyches of the bride. The bride is multiple things, as we all are. We all have different voices, different aspects in our own brain that scream out to protect us, to seek vengeance, to act curiously, to act in our own preservation. And each of those psyches does take different responsibilities, and that is made apparent by who bears the ring.
And the
If
ring
that makes sense.
The ring is metaphorical as well. It's not an actual physical ring.
No.
Well, it is our wedding ring.
It is our
So
wedding
we're
It is
ring.
your
all wearing
wedding
it.
ring.
Yes.
Yes.
We're all
Yeah.
wearing it at all times.
We're
But
all wearing it.
metaphorically, we're passing it around
Yeah.
as a way of showing who
Yeah.
has it.
Yeah. And
So
speaking of, we did caress a horror.
Yeah.
So that means the ring passes from the witch who takes it now.
Yeah, in the first room, who determined the truth about that first room?
The Animus?
Animus?
Animus, yeah.
Great. Well, in which case, I'm going to pass it to the mother because a truth has not yet been decided around this room. So, mother, you may take the
Well,
ring.
I think I've seen enough. So yes, I will take the ring and immediately use it to tell the truth of this room, which is that a certain attitude has been allowed to be fostered here by Bluebeard amongst his male friends, that if a man's base desires can be satiated by throwing fresh meat to them every so often, these creatures can be controlled and prevented from doing further damage, forgetting, of course, that the taste for blood only begets a greater appetite for such things in the future. So this room was the site of increasing debauchery, violence, and overbearing male instinct, all in sort of service of an ever increasing appetite that can't be satiated, and it has been allowed to run rampant without the Bluebeard or a previous bride's hand to temper it.
So this monstrous thing that has been allowed to go in the house.
Yes.
Is that the responsibility of your husband?
he began it, in an attempt to keep his friends in check. But he let it get out of hand.
Yes,
Because
yeah. No, sorry, you go.
Because boys will be boys.
Just as the mother bears the responsibility for the witch seeking vengeance and lust and carnality, so too must Bluebeard be responsible for the men under his care. You take. What do you take? If anyone would like to propose something that the bride would like to take as a token.
The hat.
Wonderful. Please describe the hat. I would like to know. What does it look like?
Dusty in a way that you can never clean.
Oh.
Like it's old, and if you try to clean it, it'll fall apart. Some of the stitching is starting to fray, but you can tell it once was a very, very prestigious hat.
A hat of some status that is now far, far into disrepair.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. You have gained a token of disloyalty. Who has the ring now? Is it Mother? Oh, you did just propose a truth.
So yeah, I
think you have to
immediately
pass
propose
it
the
along.
truth, so I have to pass it because I got
Yes.
to choose the truth for this room.
Yeah.
Is there a thing that states that you can keep it if you like sacrifice something? Or is that for propose a truth? Or did I read that wrong?
I don't need to keep it. That's okay.
I think there is a move where you can pass up the ring and you gain a certain advantage, but that is, I think that is mainly for. Yeah. So that's you can use that if you shiver with fear.
That's right. Also, was that a token of disloyalty?
So you have one
yes,
for
because-
each now.
And did you mark a
Yes.
trauma, Phil, for that?
I've got my trauma,
Excellent.
from the
Please,
bloodlust.
please take note of your trauma. For if you
Yeah, I've
reach
got-
5, you will shatter.
I'm on 3.
I've got one trauma from our argument. Yes.
Yes.
Oh my.
You should have another
From our
one
internal argument.
from proposing the truth as well.
Oh, do you get traumas
Yeah.
from
So
doing,
if you do it,
proposing
if you get a
truths?
token of like in Bluebeard's favor, you heal a trauma. If you propose if you get a token of disloyalty, you mark a trauma.
Okay, so I've got 2 trauma. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
2 trauma.
I didn't know.
I think I'm on 0 then.
Yeah, because you would have
Animus
healed
is
one.
fine.
Yeah.
Yes.
You would healed one, but we didn't have any.
I'm on 3, so
Wow.
Yeah.
Animus is
Well, the
really
witch
just
is very-
trucking along like.
Yeah. Well, the animus can take control then. The animus can have the ring.
There you
I'll
go.
have the ring.
The animus the animus, I think the way the animus takes the ring is when they, shake the dust out of this hat and find it still dusty, and put it on anyway. And go, well, fine, it's mine. I'll pop it on, and that is the animus taking the ring. And then we all get to choose a room, which is fun.
yeah.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, Animus, would you like to describe to me what key? What key do you find on the numerous key ring?
C major.
I find a sharp key. It's sort of cylindrical core, and each of the teeth are at a different angle, almost like a frayed pine cone. That they all each sit at different degrees around the cylinder. So the keyhole must be like a star, to fit each tooth, but it's quite sharp, and it catches in the pocket more than any other key.
See, yes, a prickly key that almost pierces the hand of the Animus. As she reaches into her pocket to grasp it, it almost sticks in her palm. Heading down the stairs, you see a spiral staircase that just descends, and a door that does have almost a star or a handprint to unlock. As you do, you are met with stone walls, dim lights as lanterns flicker overhead. Very hard for you to make out the different shapes in this room, but grabbing a torch from the wall, you see tables, you see tools, you see a casket in the shape of a person with blood trickling out the bottom. You see a rack, and all of the instruments seem to gleam black. What do you do, sisters?
There's a
Where have you taken us?
I'd like to investigate what's on the rack.
Don't strike me as much of a handy person, Animus.
So you would like to investigate an object?
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes.
I will reveal some more details, and then you can ask me the specific questions.
Just ignore the casket leaking blood. Oh, what's this? This rack?
With enough blood.
It's like
right.
ignore the moaning bed. Just go to the bird.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
On the rack, you see nail. In fact, you see a nail that is embedded in the wood where someone's
Like
hand,
a human nail.
Yes, where someone's hands may have grasped to try and free themselves. When you turn from the perspective of someone in the rack, you see illuminated with several lamps a blackboard that says, "I will be faithful. I will be quiet. I will be loyal." That is what you see. Now you can ask me 2 questions. You can ask me, whose item is this? What memories does this item hold? What about this item is odd or uncanny? And why did Bluebeard keep this item?
What memories does this item hold?
Pain, blood, the stern voice of Bluebeard echoing throughout the room as searing pain is delivered to that of the person in the rack. You sense that from the jumbled memories, it has had many victims. And you can ask me one more question. You can ask me, why did Bluebeard keep this item? What memories does this item... what about this item is odd or uncanny? Or whose item is this?
Hey, groundskeeper,
What
why the rack?
What about it is uncanny?
The uncanny part of this rack is that not quite the rack, but the ground beneath it seems to be disjointed, like there is a trap door underneath.
Curious. Trapdoor. Coffin with blood. There's a few avenues to choose from. How curious are you, sister?
Interesting. Surely he's got a good reason.
Oh no, I like
I
this
love
game.
these
I like
talks. I love these talks so much.
I like this game. What reason could that be? And furthermore, do you want to simply conjure a reason out of thin air, or perhaps do we see what's inside that coffin?
Well, I
The
feel like I
reasons are rather
know what's-
explicit, sisters. The reasons are explicit.
Yes, they weren't following his rules.
Brashness,
Being a good wife.
faithlessness.
Yeah.
Is this usual in one society? Suffer the consequences by view of torture?
Well,
I can't speak for the two of you, but that's just a little bit more uncouth than I'm used to.
I'm not sure. This is my first marriage.
Well, nothing says we couldn't explore this room. Why not explore a little further? Or are you afraid, Mother?
I'm not afraid. I know full well that we will never have reason to visit this room after today.
Open it then.
Exactly.
Open it.
Are we not loyal? Are we not faithful? Are we not demure?
Would we be disloyal if we looked in the casket?
Nothing says
Nothing
this room was
forbids
off
us
limits.
to. This is
That's
our
true.
house.
The bride will saunter over to the
Yeah, no one's stopping you.
the casket, and we'll place two hands upon, like, is this a stone coffin where it's like a slab that you push the top off, or is it a more conventional kind of wooden casket that flips and opens?
Perhaps I was not clear in my description, sisters. What you see is an Iron Maiden. It is upright,
Ah,
and the figure of a human is the shape of the casket. Blood pooling around the base.
is there a lock upon it, or does it look like it's easily accessible to open up?
Why, sister, the lock can be opened with your key.
Beautiful. Well, she will
Unlock it.
She'll take the spiny, spindly key and will insert it in to unlock the secrets within. Since we're not afraid.
There is a gasp as the lock releases itself, and the stone walls of the Iron Maiden groan and open wide, and you see a figure impaled on the spikes within in a dirty apron, leather apron, their face full of holes as they step themselves forward, taking themselves away from the spikes, dislodging the spikes from their body slowly and painfully as more blood seeps from them.
Now, did you learn your lesson?
With the correct punishment. I see you are now to take my place. As they shk towards the bride with rough hands, they seek to grab her and put her where they think she belongs.
Apparently we aren't so without sin after all, sisters.
This woman is in no position to judge us, to judge me.
Are we able to perhaps wield a sharp little bird's skull in our hand? And
You wish to dirty yourself with violence?
I do.
I think we should shove her down the trap hole, personally.
Oh, I love this. Maybe we
You-
fend them toward the trap hole.
You seek to do violence, and thus I will ask you to roll. Yoz, do you have dice?
I have Google. Yes. What am I rolling?
2d6 for me, would you please?
I'm just wonderfully happy to see the Animus getting down and dirty with it. It's about time.
What is
Down and jiggy with it.
is this blood or?
Yes, sorry, this is carnality.
So I got +1,
You do.
which gives me a total of 4.
Oh no, that's not.
We have not gotten a 10. We haven't gotten a full success yet.
No, you haven't. You
Failure's good for storytelling.
you seek to brandish something as the bride grasps through her cloak, and noticing this movement, the rough hands of this figure grasp yours. Yours is not the place to punish. That is the master's job. Your place is as his gentle wife. And he grabs the bride. I think I've used both.
Gee.
I think I've used both pronouns now. Their face shifting in different shadows, appearing as both yours and Bluebeard's, both the mistress and the master of the house in a dark reflection. They grab your hands, pulling you forward, first placing you in the rack, your neck through the head hole, and your hands flailing, grasping, locked in.
Like a pillory. Okay, cool.
Yes.
I thought I could use,
not a rack. Yes.
I thought I could use my face move, but I can't because it specifically says caring for a servant, and this does not appear to be one of our servants. So, alas.
This is a horror.
Yes. And I do not have the ring, dear sisters.
Would you like
That was an act of violence, so
That was a ring move.
you have to pass the ring.
Yes. Please pass the ring, Animus. To your sisters.
And did we get trauma from that? Sounds pretty traumatic.
Yes. I will say that they have not, rent your flesh currently.
Yet.
So I will say that is one trauma. Do you take it, Animus, or do you share it amongst your sisters?
I'll take the trauma.
Good.
Yes, good.
Deserve it. Crappy roll.
As our head goes through the pillory, I think
The stocks, rather. My mistake.
as our face comes through the other side, I think the ring is transferred as the wool of my confidence is ripped away. And I think it's passed to the witch.
Well, absolutely. Immediately feeling the sense of control overwhelmed straight onto the witch. She says to two of you, well, in strife like this, there's only one thing you really can do. Help! The lady of the house is being tortured! Help! Come to her aid quickly!
Wonderful! You cry out for help.
I
Our
do.
first cry. Lovely. Please
can do
roll
that.
for me. Yes, you may. There are many servants in the house, and of
Yeah.
course, you are the lady of the house.
Is
Crying out.
this a ring move?
This is
It
a ring
is.
move.
I'm
yes.
immediately unlocking a ring move.
Lovely. Please roll for me 2d6s. You are the witch.
Yes.
You are rolling with resilience, which unfortunately is a 0,
Yes, it
but
is.
at least it's not a negative one.
That's it. That's what I'm trying to avoid at the
And you
moment.
know what? I bought this wonderful tarot of servants.
Ooh, lovely.
It's Bluebeard's Bride special tarot. And I feel like it's only fitting that any servant who comes to your call, I pick randomly from this deck. Also, I just really want to use it.
If we pass the roll,
Well, I got a 9.
A 9.
6 and a
Excellent.
3.
All right, let's see what I draw.
Bluebeard. Ah!
I'm
Ah,
early.
Well, I didn't go
What
in
are
the
you doing
final
in the
room,
torture
so it's
chamber?
fine.
excellent. Let
Yeah,
me.
and they all happily ever after.
I love that this
Some-
room he was absolutely fine with us going into as well. It's like, yeah, what can
Yeah.
go wrong?
Yeah, my torture
excellent.
chamber. That's fine.
So what you hear footsteps running down the staircase. You see a young servant with beautiful golden flowing hair, a very very boyish youthful face, in a waistcoat and frilly shirt. He runs down the stairs. My lady, is that the lady of the house?
'Tis boy, and she is
Tis.
in trouble. You,
Ah.
as she is like in the precarious position there. I have done nothing to deserve this.
It looks like you are here for punishment.
Bluebeard
It
has
is
offered no such
only
thing.
by the hand of some vindictive sinner, who on one hand told us that it is not our place to judge, while seeking to put the hand of judgment upon us.
oh
Hypocritical.
well. I will step in the lady's place, torturer, and the whipping boy submits himself as the torturer gladly picks up a dagger from the tool table and
Kid.
runs him through 9 times. Each time he looks out to you, the lady, and apologizes.
Is a face move
I'm
a ring
sorry,
move?
mistress. Pardon?
Is I used a ring move, so you know what? I'm not dealing with the consequences of this, Phil. It's yours.
The face moves.
For help.
Oh, I
The
didn't
face
use
moves
that.
are generally triggered, or you can use them for like based on the
Yes,
role playing
which
moment. They don't need to be.
But
Yeah.
I didn't use a face move. I used a ring move. But yeah, I'm pawning whatever comes next. And Mother, you can deal with this.
As he is stabbed, for each stab wound, he reveals a sin. I stole dates from the kitchen. Forgive me. I read from the master's room instead of doing my chores. On and on, as the knife enters his body and the lock on the pillory release. Lady, the bride, is freed from her punishment. What do
I'm
you
glad
do?
you actually got a sinner, because he did a lot of that's 9 things. It's a lot of terrible things.
Yes.
Uh,
Disloyalty.
just loyalty.
Tap
Yeah.
the.
Simple rules. Like,
I
you
will
didn't
not
need
be
to lock me
disloyal.
up. All right. Let's just not let you get bored again. Okay. Because clearly you're good at your job, but idle hands.
Are you talking to the whipping boy or the torturer?
The torturer.
Mm.
The whipping boy, I'm glad we caught him. He was
Yes, it was wrong for
clearly
him to eat fruit and read.
absolutely
chores.
ridiculous.
Disloyalty.
Yeah.
Not
Loyalty.
quiet. Not. What is it? Loyal. I will. I'll be loyal. I'll be quiet. I will be
quiet.
faithful.
Yeah.
I will be faithful.
He was probably
Stealing from the
reading
master is
aloud.
not faithful.
Not faithful. Reading aloud, not silent.
Oh, and also for anyone's
We are
reference,
the
this
perfect
was
match.
this was the card, the 9 of Swords,
Yes.
which does represent deep fear, kind of an inner disturbance, guilt, which I thought was fitting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Uh,
Well, you see, I think we're a great match for Bluebeard because we're obviously a very cruel and imperious woman who's very sure of herself. And the truth of this room is that it is a necessary evil in this age of iniquity, where faithlessness and disloyalty abounds. And as the Animus said early, there must be a good reason for creatures to end up in this room.
Oof.
And that will never befall us because we are a woman of stature and of faith and of strength, and we will never need to be punished. The only punishment that would befall us would be unfairly meted out, and that is not how the master of this house works.
the
So sure of
the
yourself,
ring.
sister.
Who bears the ring?
Mother.
Me, the mother.
And you propose
That's why I was
this
proposing the truth.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yes.
The
room. The truth is that the room of torture is a necessary evil to keep faithfulness in the house.
Excellent. The bride.
In the age of sin and darkness. Yeah.
Yeah.
The bride takes the dagger from the whipping boy as he gasps out in pain. Thank you, mistress. You wipe the blood on your now soiled gown, and you take that as a token of loyalty to Bluebeard.
Feel better?
Heal a trauma too.
Mother, you may heal a trauma.
Feel better, do we, sisters?
Great.
Much better. I'm glad this room is here when we need it.
Excellent. I would like to propose perhaps a quick little break.
Ooh.
Nothing more
Great.
than 5 minutes, if that suits everyone.
That
Yes.
suits. Yes.
Wonderful.
Watch me enact the powers of Streamlabs.
Thanks everyone for watching. Don't go anywhere. Remember that we still have a little announcement at the end. But of course, more importantly, we need to see what fate befalls our bride as we near the end of this gothic tale. So don't go nowhere. And we will just have a little bio break for ourselves.
We'll see you soon, everyone.
Bye.
See you soon, guys.
Don't go nowhere. Goodbye. Excellent, wonderful. Thank you for rejoining us back in this game of Bluebeard's Bride by Magpie Games with the wonderful Sean, Phil, and Yoz, who you don't get to see very often here on Roll to Cast. Playing the who did I start with? I started with Sean. So
Hello.
playing the witch, the mother, and the animus, respectively. Anyway, all controlling the bride, Bluebeard's bride, as she walks around her new house, dealing with the horrors within and trying to come to a conclusion about her new husband. Currently, we have 2 tokens for loyalty towards Bluebeard and 1 token of unfaithfulness or disloyalty. Currently, who has the ring? The ring bearer?
Well, I just proposed the truth to leave the torture room, torture
Excellent.
chamber. So
Who would you like to pass it to, Mother?
The animus can have the ring.
Animus!
No.
Having nearly escaped, or narrowly
trembling
escaped
hands.
the horrors of
Fidgeting hands, not trembling.
yes, fidgeting. Yeah, everyone get your fidget toys out. As you have narrowly escaped the punishment of Bluebeard's torture room, you go for the key ring and tell me what key leaps out to you. What key do you pick to explore your house?
It's like an ornate, like all gold, like rose gold, with like a very intricate eye at the top, and like a very simple, elegant, like it looks like when you draw a picture of a key, like as a child, it's just very simple, but like there's like an elegance or even like a prestige to the ring in its simplicity. Like it doesn't need to be more than it is, but it just has, almost like a hum when you bring your fingers over it.
Wow. Yes, so it is a key that is fully itself, that is special despite its lack of special qualities, and an eye that looks out to you from the key. Going back up the staircase, you do not find yourself where you begun. Instead, you seem to climb higher and higher and higher amongst Bluebeard's house, finding yourself on an upper level. There is a room that beckons to you, that beckons to your key, and you see, instead of a peephole, a human eye staring at you from the door. A golden door that just simply is. And you plunge the key into this eye as the... Sorry, Oz.
Amazing. That's exactly what I wanted to do.
Stab the eye with the key.
You just poke the eye with your finger, and it goes, "Ow!"
And as the eye closes,
Oh, gross.
blood pouring from it, the door swings open. Sorry, that was a bit.
That's amazing.
I really feeling myself today.
I want to feel. I want to talk to Bluebeard's locksmith. This guy's talented.
This guy's fucked up.
So I have this idea for this door. It's just a fucking eye, guys.
Oh, an idea.
Hey.
Hey. Congratulations. It's the worst joke of the show. I get to go home now. Excellent. The golden door opens with almost an imperceptible hum, like the key, like everything is resonating. And you
The music room?
go in. It is a bedroom with a large vanity. There is a woman facing the vanity, who is brushing her long but dark hair and humming along to the tune of the room. You see kind of it's an autumnal colouring to this room, almost as if it's the only light place in this house, this dark house with its dark red or crimson tones. This is a golden room with several beautiful glowing lights. The carpet is a warm coppery colour. There is a large golden harp in the corner of this bedroom that is playing itself. Just a few pizzicato sounds plinking away. Nothing long and drawn together, no notes that connect to each other, just discordant plucking of the strings as the woman hums to herself, brushing. What do you do?
Sorry,
sisters?
did I disturb you? Are you hello?
She
Hello?
continues to hum her song.
I am the lady of the house. You will attend to me. Hello.
She continues humming
Hey,
to herself.
hey, groundskeeper.
Yeah.
Because you've specifically gone out of your way to say that this room is completely different to everything else in the fucking house.
Yeah.
This feels very strange to the witch, and I would like to take stock of this
You like to
room.
stock?
I
Ah,
absolutely want to
that's
take a
nice.
moment before entering this space to this person that is refusing to speak to us in this rose gold iPhone of a room that we found ourselves in and figure out what the hell's going on.
Lovely. Okay, well, you can ask me what stalks the bride from the shadows, although technically there are
Yeah.
very few shadows in this room. What traps have been laid for the bride? What does this place demand of the bride? And what horror here is hidden from the bride?
I want to test out a function that we haven't used yet. So I want to ask specifically, what does this place demand of the bride?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
I was right on board with that question. Yeah.
This place demands your beauty. How's that?
Right.
Sisters, I know it's been some time since we've accessed the virginal side or the vital side of our psyche, but perhaps that's what is required of us.
Oh, Mary Angley. Yes. What would you like to do?
There's one more,
much
you have one more
room is
question.
the
You have one more
vanity?
question.
Oh.
Oh, it says
Sorry.
ask one.
Do we get two questions?
No, when
No.
you take
Was it
stock,
ask one?
you ask one.
Yeah.
If you
Oh, I got
if
two
you
last time.
investigate a mysterious object, you ask two.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is there
Well,
room at the
the mirror's
vanity
in
for a
use.
second?
No, there is one
Yes,
seat.
okay.
This woman is facing away from you, and her body is situated so that she is blocking her own reflection. You cannot see her reflection from where you are standing in the mirror.
We cannot see her face, you say.
That's not creepy at all.
Oh.
Have we?
Nothing creepy about this house thus far.
The bride walks in and maneuvers so that she can see this woman's face. She's ignoring us, and she needs to be addressed directly.
You see a young face, almost the mirror image of yourself, but where your hair is fair, almost silvery. Hers is dark, as is her gown. It is instead of the white that you wear as your wedding dress, she is wearing black. And
She's the anomaly in this room. Absolutely.
and her eyes are stitched shut
Coraline bullshit.
as she continues to hum.
Doesn't explain why she's not talking to us. She can bloody hear.
We absolutely deserve everything that's coming to us.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
It's so evil.
I
We're
knew
so
there was
evil.
a reason I asked Yos to be Bluebeard's friend.
Hey, you're blind, not deaf. Hey, hey.
Yeah. I think we approach and with like stern caution. Like she's blind, so I know I've got the upper hand if she tries any. But I either want her to brush my hair. Hey, hello. Hi, I've put my hand on her shoulder now. Hi, can you? And I try and move her hand to start brushing my hair. Can you just keep doing this motion?
It's like move her hands from here to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do.
Do you understand?
She's so rude. You move her hands where yours kind of betray yourself. You don't get the sense of this woman's emotions from her hands. It's almost you sense a lack of emotions, and unseeing, she moves her hands to touch your silvery long hair, and she begins to brush it and brush.
That's
and
right.
Brush
Yeah, it's
and
gonna get
yank
harder.
and pull each
That's a
bristle
bit
of the
tough.
brush, beginning to now tear hair from your scalp.
Well, I'm
as she
absolutely going to
now
try and
has-
pull the bride away, like to extricate ourselves from this horrible
Sort
situation.
of. Have you ever done this for someone else? Can you?
Perhaps take the same care as you would show yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, don't say that. Those are choice words. Those are choice words.
Interesting.
Don't say that.
Interesting.
I'm leaning in. I'm leaning into the gothic irony of the situation. She is clearly a reflection of us.
She does onto you as she would do onto her,
Bitches our eyes
yanking
together.
and pulling, and you can.
She's already doing that.
Yes, you do see discarded around on the table of the vanity various pieces of her own hair that have fallen out as she continues
have the ring,
humming
Animus,
away.
right?
Yeah, Animus has the ring.
Animus, she is unaware of her beauty, as her sight has been stolen from her.
Yeah.
Perhaps she needs to be reminded.
Do I come out? I'm gonna grab for the dagger, and I'm gonna try and hold her head, and I want to unstitch her eyes. It feels like that would be an act of violence as well, because it would be quite.
It does,
Or is
however,
it
you're
a
not.
caress?
Is it a
Yeah.
care?
Or is it a
What-
caress?
I will.
Is it a dark caress?
I will.
I think it's a dark caress, perhaps.
I think it's leaning more. It's more along the side
Yeah.
of caress.
The intention is not to be
mechanically-
violent, like for violence sake. It's
Yeah.
to care for them.
Yes.
Free her.
However, the touch is not gentle or sensual or showing vulnerability. Or is it? You said grasp her head, but the touch itself must be gentle for a caress.
Because is that the same for a caress a horror?
I would say
Yeah.
instead of grasp, perhaps steady.
Beautiful. Then I will allow you to roll for me, please. 2d6s, and you are rolling with your blood, Animus,
Blood.
which you have a 0 in.
So that means I have a 6.
You have a 6, which is not a hit. In
Enough.
reaching out for her face and bringing the dagger towards her. How do I play this?
Careful now, don't move. Don't move this. I've not done this before.
You do a back stitch, which is the wrong kind of stitch to use in this situation.
I'm wondering, Animus, you can tell me this. After you plunge the knife into her eye, did you do so because you desired to, or because you were too afraid of her horrific image? Did the carnality of previous rooms infect you or break you? Tell me.
I think it broke me.
And-
Wait.
Ooh.
I feel like I
We're
think
taking on
there
some
was,
of Bluebeard's aspects. His
there was a
cruelty.
moment where I was like, I could just. What if I slipped? Oh, I think it infected me. It was like an impulse,
Yes.
like an intrusive thought.
Intrusive
Hmm,
thoughts.
yeah.
Yeah.
So this figure, much weaker than you, despite possessing a similar stature, but hers being frail and, to your mind, pathetic. This is not a woman who can run a household. How can you run a household when your eyes are stitched shut?
Won't
And
stop
in-
Even
humming
brush
that
your own hair.
infernal tune.
And in that instant, you plunge the knife deep into her skull.
Well, at least just stop humming.
Uh-oh. Oopsie.
Oh.
the grip.
Bluebeard's gonna come back in. We're gonna fuck him up.
All of these rooms are torture rooms. What's going on?
The grip on your hair does relinquish itself. However, the bride turns away from you, back to the vanity, with the slit now in her eye, blood coursing from it. She does stop humming and says, "Oh, I see. I see now what the master finds beautiful." She grabs a hairpin from her braids and looks to plunge it into your eye so that you can truly mirror each other. What do you do?
Yes, we take it.
And also, as you have caressed a horror, albeit not very well or not very successfully, you must pass up the ring, Animus.
Is there any, was there any trauma from
Yes.
that
Oh,
failure?
I think
Yeah,
that's about
I
to
will
be described.
say-
Yeah.
I will say hair was yanked from your head, so I'm going to inflict 1 trauma. How do you share it, sisters?
Up to the Animus.
Animus? Would you like all of your sisters to share your trauma?
I think it's not fair for them to take it on. It was my impulse. I want it to be beautiful, so I'll take that on.
I agree.
And
Thank you.
again, I will pass the ring to the witch, as she's very good at getting us out of these situations.
Yes,
That's the witch. The witch is the practical one. Let's.
and
Yeah.
I agree that trauma was on you. Well played.
Yeah, me too.
I
Yeah.
love Ben Fells 5 in the comments. You can take her. Her hands are small and weak. Not like our hands. Wonderful. Which,
Right,
as
roll
the ring
initiative.
bearer.
Yeah, it
initiative.
honestly, it feels like the key comes to me when I have to like react with a ring move straight away. It's like, here, you do the thing. I'm like, sure.
I got to do that too. I
yeah.
keep getting the ring and then like interpreting the room.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I
oh,
mean-
it's me. My go. Oh, my go's over.
So, I have a question, Ellen.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Let's just before I do a ringy movie. What happens if in the moment that this individual she says, "Oh, I see. I know what needs to happen," and she goes to do the same to us as was done to her. The bride will take this moment to slip out of her advancing grasp, and the harp that is close by is going to grab the strings that are being plucked to stop the music being played. You said that it was self-playing. I wonder how that changes the space, changes the mood, changes the feel by altering the sounds and the melody.
Wonderful.
I can't think with that infernal noise playing.
You grab the lines, the strings of the harp, and silence descends upon the room. And the mirror of you, this figure, looks or tries to look out, panicking, scrambling now. Where are you? I can't see you. I don't know where you are. And she begins now onto the floor, scrambling, trying to reach out. It seems like she can no longer locate you.
What is on the floor? Like, what you said that she had? Was there like scissors and various kind of instruments that were strewn upon the ground?
No, that was just in the torture room.
Yeah.
This is a beautiful plush carpet.
I see that now she can talk and wants to have a conversation, but
so bitchy. Oh, now you can talk.
now you
Now
can
you
hear.
talk to the lady of the house.
What is important
there is
to you? The bride calls out. What is important to you? The bride calls out.
What Bluebeard desires. He desires his bride to be beautiful, or she will be replaced.
If she were not beautiful, he would not have married her in the first place. Beauty cannot be painted on later. It is something a woman carries within her.
Oh, but it can. Beauty can be made. Just as Bluebeard desires we are made in his image. He said my eyes were too soulful, too beseeching, too naive. This was much better. As she drags her hand along her face. But now you have ruined my great beauty. And I have nothing. As she begins to weep.
If all you had was beauty, my dear, then it seems you had not in the first place.
And the bride plays a haunting melody on the harp over her this broken reflection sobs to show her what real beauty is, which is soulfulness, which is beseeching eyes, innocence and curiosity, all the things she tore out of herself. The bride will own imperiously, which is my word of the day, with this tune that she plays on the harp. It's not long, languid, but it just she's seeking to replace humming and the plinking that was here, this kind of marred attempt at beauty with a genuine expression of soul from the harp strings.
That is a very powerful description. And while there is not a specific move
yeah.
for it, I feel like this. Actually, I feel like this is still done with care.
It's another attempt to care for someone.
Yeah. It seems like a care for
Yeah.
a
Oh, no, it's
servant
not
as opposed to caressing a horror.
Yes.
Because there is a deal of sincerity, and you are looking to perhaps ease her torment.
Yeah, I mean, she is me, and I'm trying to show her that beauty is something that always lay within her and wasn't from the outside.
Yeah.
It's not something that is imposed on her from outside.
Beauty's in the eye of the beholder, even if they're stitched shut.
Yes, she ceases her weeping, looking or trying to find the direction of the sound of the harp, and begins to reach back to her face, now clawing away. Yes, all of this is nothing, as she peels the skin back from her body. She keeps going and going until nothing Are you shivering with fear, Phil?
No.
You don't have the ring,
And
do
you can't, so too bad.
No, so you can't, which is a shame, because I think that's the only shiver I've gotten thus far, but that's okay. It's okay.
So I can,
Anyway.
without consequence. Ooh.
Yeah. Yes, you may shiver.
Permission
without
to shiver.
It's some Dorian Gray bullshit.
Yeah, her musculature is rent from her. Even her skeleton, she cracks open until nothing remains but a golden violin.
So I think as she kind of gets
Violin,
more deeper, like I'll add the bride adds her voice to the melody as well as she gets closer to revealing the instrument within.
Beautiful.
And when she finally stops and the violin kind of falls to the ground, then the bride stops singing.
Well, allow me to propose a truth. I wanted to see what was underneath those layers before I swooped in with that
wonderful,
gross and disgusting description.
You're welcome.
I mean, look, this is a room that is a clear manifestation of what is expected from Bluebeard. It's how many, all, including ourselves, are forced to break ourselves to fit a perceived mold. I mean, that's the society we live in, but that's also what Bluebeard has expected of all of us. It's his vision of the beauty that he demands of us, and each bride has broken themselves, stripped themselves away, and deformed themselves to fit the standards that he upholds, to the detriment of themselves each and every time, until they're simply a husk of what they formerly were. I mean, look at what we did. We gave the innermost insights of ourselves in journal form to Bluebeard. We gave over our former self to this man, and it's clearly something that has happened from wife to wife to wife. And it's distressing, and it's like ugly at its most base forms, and it's all for naught, because we lose who we are in the process. And the witch especially solely puts this at the blame of Bluebeard. So this is
yeah, but that's a nice looking violin, though.
That is.
Oh, that's definitely the token I'm going to take.
Absolutely. You take that violin as a token of disloyalty
Yes.
towards Bluebeard.
And I'm going
Excellent,
to
and
take
pass
my
up the roll.
trauma up to 4. So I'm on
One more and you shatter, sister.
one
Be
more.
careful.
One more. And
So
I
if you shatter, you work for me.
yes. And I shall I'll leave the stream. No.
No,
And
stay.
I will give it over to Phil because I believe Yoz described the last key. So I believe Phil, it is now your turn.
What does this key look like, Mother?
Okay, so the mother takes up the violin, and finds the key ring in her hand, unconsciously present. And this key is rusted iron. It has a thick patina of orange dust which stains her fingers when she touches it. It seems like it is close to crumbling away to nothingness in her hand.
I see. An old rusty key that is but a breath
You've got to have a
away.
rusty key.
Yeah.
You've got to have an old rusty key at some point. If you've got a set of keys, one of them's old and rusty.
That is a breath away from disintegration.
Yes.
You...
Breathe on it.
Where are we? We're in the upper level.
Okay.
You head out of the bedroom, and facing this bedroom, you see, strangely, an old dumbwaiter. That, again, is rickety. Perhaps has a bollard with a kind of roping, saying that you should steer clear of it, as it is clearly in some disrepair. But I think it looks at least bride-sized.
I think that's a bit rude. I think he's pretty intelligent, actually.
You...
Proposing I get in the dumbwaiter?
That's
Let's
the...
do it.
Let's
get in there.
home alone this. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's go in the dumbwaiter. Let's
Mother,
yeah.
what are
I
you?
gallop toward it.
Mother, is it too beneath you? Is it?
Let's get in the dumbwaiter. What do you mean?
Get in the dumbwaiter. Get in the dumbwaiter.
I'm sure you can. I'm sure you can squeeze yourself into this situation just once, Mother.
Do we really have time for such silly games?
Do we have time to not do this? Like, when have you ever had the opportunity to get a dumbwaiter before?
I just want to see the mother squash her ego for one moment.
What a witchy thing to say.
Where will it land us? In the kitchens?
Maybe the
perhaps.
laundry room?
Perhaps.
Have we really
You don't know?
known where we're going to be at each passing moment? It feels like this place changes from one to the next. Just another way to get to nowhere in particular and everywhere at all.
Come on. You can say yippee-ki-yay if you want.
Now I have a machine gun.
Excellent. Oh no. What do you do, sister?
I guess I'll unlock the dumbwaiter and climb inside.
Brilliant.
Fantastic.
My sisters won't be silent until I do.
Not until
They
we're
are
everyone
rowdy.
everywhere at once.
They are a rowdy pair. The bride squeezes into the dumbwaiter. It is enough, big enough for her to crawl in on all fours.
You're watching this. You don't know what a dumbwaiter is. It's
It is
like a tiny elevator
yeah.
for food mainly.
That servants
It
would
goes
use
between
to
floors.
transport
Rides.
food. Yeah, and for fun
Yeah.
rides. It descends with a shocking pace. The bride feels her stomach lurch as she descends deep into the bowels of the house.
Belly of the beast.
And you come to a stop and crawl back out again to find a boiler room.
Ooh.
Steam hisses, and there is also a furnace heating the house, roaring away. You see many pipes dripping, and again, the heat and humidity settles on your skin like someone breathing on you.
It's like an unconventional sauna to me.
A very, very unconventional sauna. The fire roars. You see pipes. Everything is lit by the main incinerator.
Sister, I
what do
believe
you
we
do?
should jump into the fire. It's the only thing we
No.
can do here. I see no other course of action.
It's a bold choice.
I'll take stock of the room.
You take stock of the room? Okay,
Yeah.
you get to ask me one question, only one. Where is it?
so-
Sorry.
Traps, horrors and shadows.
What does the room want of us? Or what's expected of us?
What does
What
this
does it
place
want of
demand
us?
of the bride? And what horror here is
what traps lay in wait for the bride in this room?
The fire.
The liquid that drips from the pipes is searing hot. It would be very easy for the bride to burn herself. But also amongst the steam from the boiler appear to be figures. Ghostly figures that reach out, 1 minute translucent, one almost corporeal, and they seem to gravitate towards the bride.
They notice us.
They would burn us.
They would burn you if
Do
they
we
can catch
call-
you.
Do we call for the person who operates this machinery? Do we call for the handyman?
Oh, why not?
Who
Let's-
would-
You can
operates the
call
boiler.
without a. You're not calling for. Are you calling for help, or you just?
Can I
want
call
to...
without it being for help?
I think
Can
as
I
you are not
invoke this?
hurt yet, you can. You can just. There is a ring. Sorry, there is a bell on the key ring that you may use to call a servant.
Well, I ring the bell. The bride rings the
Excellent.
bell.
You hear the dumb
It
waiter
says,
go
"Ho
back
there."
up.
Actually, yes, wonderful. Yes, and the dumbwaiter does ascend, and it brings down
A dumb waiter.
not a dumbwaiter, a servant. Let me shuffle.
Oh yes, get used to it. That is official Bluebeard's Bride.
They
character.
are. Yep. By Magpie Games.
Hey.
A wonderful companion to the game. Let me double check the meaning of this tarot card just quickly. Okay. We have the 10 of Wands.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
If you know, you know, in the comments. A very tall, spindly man unfurls from the dumbwaiter,
Hooray.
his joints cracking, and his face is blackened with soot. Not in that way. Just has smears of soot and ash from working in the boiler room, as sweat has matted the strings of hair that he has remaining to his forehead. As he uncurls, he says, "My lady, are you cold?"
Mother, this one's on you.
Quite the contrary. Your furnace burns out of control.
I see. You would like for it to be extinguished?
For it to
Can you
be
just
tempered.
turn it down and down?
Yeah, could you just the
Just turn
thermostat?
it, just turn
The
it.
water
Just a smidge.
leaks from the pipes.
What kind of
The
operation?
furnace sends spurts of steam
And
flying everywhere.
And there are
This is
ghosts.
hardly efficient. Yeah, and ghosts. Get your ghosts under control.
You would wish for me to temper the flame.
And the ghosts.
And the ghosts.
The ghosts are actually more pertinent currently.
Yeah,
They're
like
heading-
the flame is
Quell,
probably caused the ghosts. So
My
let's deal
lady,
with.
quell the unquiet spirits of the furnace.
my
Do your
lady,
job.
without the power of the furnace, this whole house would be cold. We would not suffer the winters that batter against the house. Surely, it is only affecting you if you are in the room, such as I, as he reveals his very, very burnt arms to the bride.
I would not have you suffer for the sake of the house.
The other rooms would beg to
Hold
differ,
on,
sister.
though. Hold on. How cold are we talking here? Are we talking like frost in the house? Because if it gets
Can we layer
frosty
up?
in the house, I will not be resigned to wearing a coat indoors.
We found a coat
Ah.
just earlier.
Sure, that's just for an accessory
There are
piece.
coats, my lady. He motions to piles of coats in the corners of the room, various fine ladies' coats. See how well it did
we
them.
feed the ladies to the furnace to heat the house. Great.
Oh, right.
If you have an alternative to powering the house, my lady, of course, I am merely your servant and will do as you wish.
Simply asking for a middle way between biting cold and searing heat, where the passions present in this home are mastered and used for the good of all.
Sister, I feel like this this servant knows not the way of nuance. It is either searing heat.
What do you
or
mean? I'm a
bashing cold.
two-dimensional character.
Does he perhaps have a
Exactly.
list with everyone that thinks that this is an okay way to heat the house? And then maybe we can use the people on that list to heat the house in this way instead of who's sorry.
My
Can you just
Darling Miss... Oh, sorry.
where where are these coats from?
The coats.
Did I stutter?
Actually, you did.
Oh, I'm so sorry. That's my bad. Yes, the coats. The coats.
Well, they are from the previous ladies of the house. They have no use for them now.
Word.
And
Because the
their
house
use
is
down
too
here
warm.
is
Pardon? Sorry, I did actually hear that.
what use do they have down here?
Oh, well, I just thought the steam seemed to, as you can tell, affect me greatly. Having their previous garments here seemed to quell them somewhat, enough for me to get my job done.
Sorry. Am I to understand that you've brought the coats down to appease the ghosts?
They seem to like the coats in life, so I extrapolated a little.
What? Sean talking.
Yeah.
What can we ascertain in terms of what is strictly powering the furnace? Because I know at some point we were wondering whether a people were being used. Can we safely put that to bed, or is there any sort of nefarious, or is there a lie happening here? Like, what exactly? Is there anything devious or unsavory happening to ensure that this boiler room functions as per normal?
You'd like to have a look?
Yes, absolutely.
Fantastic. You head towards the incinerator,
Just,
the boiler.
just sidle around the ghosts that are heading towards us.
There will be some trauma for this, sister. Are you
Okay.
willing to undertake it? You are at 4.
Yes.
Perhaps a sister could help you along. If not,
I'll help.
the witch.
I'm gonna help.
Fantastic. That's very gracious of you, Animus. Take a trauma, please. As
Second.
some of most
didn't
of
even
the
want it from you.
brides, most of the bride's beautiful hair is now singed away, and you feel your flesh heating and sizzling as you near towards the furnace, as screams echo in your ears. You near to the furnace and open the door,
Mm-hmm.
and amongst the flames, you see the faces of 5 women peering out at you, their eyes red and angry. Does that answer your question, Witch?
Fucking brilliant. That's all I needed. So the witch, as the bride opens the furnace gate door, as it were, and we stare into the kiln. No, as we
Get out of the kiln.
as we stare into the faces of these poor 5 souls, the witch, without looking back at the servant, says, It appears as though there is still room left in here. I wonder, dear servant, boy, whether you would, of course, come over.
Yes.
Let me show you what I mean.
He comes.
And I place a careful caressing hand first on the small of the back of this man. And
I have the ring, right?
I'm using a face move.
Oh.
Please
of course.
do
Yeah.
move your face. The
And
viper.
Do it.
And I kind of like slowly start to rub his back and say, "Don't you think that the furnace, the household, would benefit so greatly from your sacrifice, from your comfort, your care that you could provide by filling in the space? There's no need for a void here."
And he looks at you, eyes widened, and as he comes to try and sputter out a reply, the steam he inhales, just as he inhales the hatred burning hot from the women that he put inside the incinerator, and he begins to burn away from the inside out as forgive me if I am placing actions that you did not agree to, as the witch gently pushes
Guides
him into
It's
the furnace.
while gently coaxing him with words of affirmation, and as it says with lies, which is ever so grateful. You are doing us tremendous service, and know that there is no pain here, only servitude.
And he, as his flesh burns, he nods as he sits himself amongst the flames, closing the furnace door behind him. And as he does, the steam, all of the ghostly women, too, disapparate into the flames. Their vengeance quelled for now. The house does seem cooler now, but you feel quite warm, bride. And
I'm sorry.
who has got the ring?
I just couldn't help myself.
Excellent. What do you do
You
now?
have quite a sting. Well, I have a truth for this room.
Hey.
You have a truth? Would you like
So
to propose it?
this decides which way we sway because we're 2 on either side.
We're 2 and 2. 2 and 2.
So my truth for this room is that all great works require sacrifice, and the engine of progress requires fuel. And Bluebeard is a great man doing great things, and this is a great house.
Obviously.
The only mistake that required correction is that it should not be the ladies Bluebeard's lady who fuels the furnace. There are other far lesser creatures that can be used for that purpose.
More deserving.
An internship program.
Yes, interns essentially. There's a steady supply of young, naive servants who can be fed to the soul of the house to keep the great engine of progress trundling forwards. And this is just one of the witch's decision here. It's just one of the many refinements and changes, improvements to the house that can be expected under the bride's care.
Wonderful. Just as mothers must rear their young with a firm hand, punishing those who do not serve well. This is how Bluebeard runs his house. What token would you like to take for your loyalty to your husband?
We take the entire dumbwaiter.
Take the ghosts.
I wonder if I could. Is it how can I take a hot coal that are burning me?
Absolutely. The objects you can take are ephemeral. They don't always adhere to
That's what I
normal
thought.
logic. Yes, you take
that's what I thought. Otherwise, I could take a coat, but it doesn't feel quite right.
Yeah.
I feel like taking a bit of the guy, the furnaceman that the witch
Servant.
vipered, feels quite good,
You reach into the furnace and grab a coal. However, your hands have been sufficiently burnt to the point where you are one with the flames, and you do not feel the fire on your hand. You are the master of this house. You power it.
Good.
And you take that as a token of your loyalty. You may heal a trauma.
We numbed our pain receptors on our fingers. That's good.
You sure did. And finally,
I got no trauma.
I've got
You get-
4.
you're very close
I'm at
to
3 now.
shattering. You find the final key on the key ring.
What?
Oh, I got to give the ring to someone.
Well,
I'm gonna step
first of all-
outside the. Oh yeah,
Yep.
okay.
you head towards the furthest room, the west wing. Now you have a choice. Do you enter the room or look through the keyhole? You may discard with the notions of ring moves now. This
Okay,
is the
so we don't need the ring.
final room, but I would like for the sisters to agree on what she does. Does she
Is this
enter
whole
the room?
that
or
we've
does
been
she-
asked not to go into?
Yes. This is
Well-
the room.
Yes, this is the forbidden room.
I think that everything that we have learnt means that we shouldn't go in there, and maybe we shouldn't even look through the keyhole. But maybe that doesn't count as going in there. So it might be
It
okay.
didn't
with that.
forbid us from looking through the keyhole.
That's true. He wasn't that specific.
Which is exactly the reason why I think we should go inside. I think we have got no clear evidence either way, despite what your beliefs might lead you to believe. And simply put, we are the lady of the household. We are the ones who essentially run this place. We can just as easily slip in and slip out. If you're so sure that there is nothing there, we slip in, we slip out, none the wiser. We were never there.
I don't care what's in there. I just care that he has asked us not to set foot in there. And in breaking that ask, in not following that promise, we would be disloyal, and our status as lady of the house could. We're only lady because he makes us so, and I don't wish to. I don't want to not
Fate of these other wanting
be loyal.
souls that we have come across.
It seems that the bride, whilst there is some dissent, appears to have a clear conclusion in her mind to not enter the room, but instead raise her gaze to the keyhole and look inside. This is where we all add to the fiction. Just because I am the groundskeeper, I do not control the story. It is all part of us and part of our decisions. Which?
Hello.
What did the bride lose when she saw the horrors through the keyhole?
She lost her. Oh, I'll start vague, and then we can go deeper in as the others answer their questions. She loses her loyalty for Bluebeard.
Part of the bride realizes that there is always going to be a gnawing discomfort in her soul that she cannot quell when she thinks about who she is betrothed to. That will never leave her. Mother, what loving impulse kept the bride from going into this room that Bluebeard forbade her?
What loving impulse. The house, with its horrors, is a reflection of a lack of care, of selfishness, of incompatibility. She believed that she could rise above the previous trauma that this house has suffered. And by mastering the temptation to go into the room, she believed it was the first step on making the house a better place, a more whole place, and a less wounded creature.
Wonderful. It is the sense that perhaps the bride and Bluebeard are more akin and can tend for this house of horrors. Animus, how did Bluebeard reward you, his bride, for remaining loyal and not entering the room? What honor did he bestow upon you? Or what gift did he grant you?
Another key.
Another key! Pray tell, what room does this key open?
I think he guides us out of the house with the key and points to like a glass house on the grounds. There's
What?
like this nice, it's green glass and with like brass supports and it's kind of glints. It says, this is yours. You can create whatever you want.
He has constructed a room entirely for you. As you have respected his privacy, he will grant you yours. There are...
House, thanks. very private, thanks.
I'm going to vary this up so we all have a final say.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me the numerous ways in which the bride copes with the horrors she spied through the keyhole. Let's go reverse. Animus? What's a way
Drinking.
that the bride copes?
She increases her alcohol intake.
Yeah.
And
fair.
finds herself possibly more often than not in the gentleman's room, drinking away her disquieting thoughts. Mother, how does the bride cope with the horrors she spied through the keyhole?
Small acts of cruelty to servants, to people under her care, which she takes under the internal pretense of discipline and order and care for the house, but they slip every so often into vindictiveness, into cruelty. She oversteps the mark consistently, and that is something that soothes her soul, soothes her appetite for vengeance when she does it.
The bride's firm hand becomes a fist that then brandishes a weapon to control her house, but also her own soul. Which, how does the bride cope with the horrors she spied through the keyhole?
By writing down everything she hears, everything she sees in every room, in a brand new journal, piece of writing that is not handed over to her husband, that is away from the prying eyes, locked away, tucked secretly in the new room, purpose-built just for her. And every day she pours in what remaining sanity she has, objectively and subjectively, in what eventually turns out to be an ever-increasing home filled with all the horrors, big and small, that terrify her to her very core. That is just for her and for no one else.
To put it simply, the bride copes with secrets. And that concludes our story of Bluebeard's bride. A round of applause for my wonderful players, for Sean the witch, for Phil the mother, for Yoz the animus, and for Mary the disappeared, who unfortunately tech issues became too numerous. But
God
we
was
thank
just
her
not playing
all...
nice.
No, we thank her all the same for trying her best. And of course, we thank you, everyone who joined us in chat, everyone who came in sleepy-eyed at all times of the morning or the night. Thank you all for joining us. And we have a little announcement.
Yes.
Like happenstance, we have a brand new unopened copy of Bluebeard's Bride. This is the unopened copy, but I will just show people. This is a beautiful book.
It is absolutely amazing.
The art is, I don't know that my camera will pick it up that much because it's all black and gold, but it is a Wonderful book. As you can tell, it is a fantastic game. And we would like to do a little giveaway with this. If you head over to the Roll to Cast Discord, join us there. The Discord is for everyone. We do, of course, have Patreon specific tiers, but get into our Discord if you are watching now, if you aren't in there already. And we will do a little giveaway over the next week. So that is just a little surprise from us to you.
Yeah.
We'll let you know how that works, but just a reminder.
We'll specifically do that in the Roll to Cast channel as well, just to keep it very in keeping. So in the places where everyone can frequent, if you keep your eyes on the Roll to Cast channel, that's where we'll do that. But of course, as Ellen can attest, we have a very lively and vibrant Discord community for all things, not just for the giveaway.
Absolutely. And as we bring this stream to an end, just a reminder, of course, get in our Discord, but of course, follow us on all the socials where you can find out what we're doing or see previous seasons. If you need some wonderful sparkly dice to play your horror game, check out chroniclecards.shop, where we are affiliates of. If you use the code ROLLTOCAST, you get 20% off everything in the store. And look what beauties they have made. They also make dice brushes and miniatures for your RPG games. So, yes.
They have a lovely set of brushes. Yes,
Mini
I have
brushes.
those brushes. I have those brushes. They are made of wolf hair, from
Reclaimed
reclaimed
wolf hair,
pelts.
yeah.
They from old pelts and things that they recovered. They're very high quality. Sort of like a cherry wood handle. They're really gorgeous brushes.
Yeah.
At a great price for a full set of different sizes. So I really like them.
And
They've all
Roll
got
to
the nice
Cast
touch.
gets
They've
you
got wolf
20%
names on them, like Fenrir and stuff. Very good.
Yes.
Amazing. So 20% off store-wide if you use the code ROLLTOCAST. So we just want to give a big shout out to them. We are very happy to be affiliates with them, a wonderful Australian company. And if you liked seeing us perform live, head to the Adelaide Fringe. If you're going to be in Adelaide for the Fringe Festival, we will be doing 4 live shows, each one run by a member of Roll to Cast, Cyberpunk Red by Phil, Vampire the Masquerade by Chris, Kids on Bikes by myself, and Pulp Cthulhu by Sean. So make sure you get your tickets for that.
Yes.
I believe that is everything really on our end. I before we go, I might like to throw it to yours to just spruik yourself.
Oh, sure. You can follow me on every social platform at Yozzy Haha. And if you're at Adelaide Fringe, as well as seeing Roltercast live, you should see my solo show, which is called No Babies in the Sauna, which will be at My Lover Cindy for a limited run of shows.
Amazing. No wonder you're so sauna obsessed.
Sauna.
The sauna.
Potentially, yeah, it might be on the mind.
Well, thank you once
again.
Thank
you so much for having me. This has been a blast.
Thank you for being here.
And Sean, was there any other last housekeeping?
So I'll just jump them out of the way. Just talk about Roll to Cast Live. Obviously, if you head on to the Adelaide Fringe website, that's where you can get tickets. For those of you specifically in Adelaide, it is over 4 Saturdays. Those dates being February 25th, March 4th, March 11th, and March 18th. We have a limited run of Bank SA tickets still remaining. That would be $10 tickets for yourself. First come, first served. You don't need to have a Bank SA card or anything of that description. Just kind of grab them, nab them, and come see our show. Come see as many as you want. It's at the Lost Dice Cafe once again, so that's what we're very much gearing up and looking forward to. Of course, we have a Patreon. If you'd like another way to support us, you can see here on the stream above us. That is patreon.com/rolltocast. You can be a part of the Patreon exclusive Discord. You can be a part of voting for what game happens on these Rollcast Lives, or at a higher tier, you can even join in on this game. So we've yet to have someone do that, but basically, if you hit up that tier, we will drag you, maybe kicking and screaming, onto Rollcast Live, and you get to play with us, participate in your own very Rollcast Live. Otherwise, the thing to point out is our bread and butter is the Roll2Cast podcast. We are in season 8. We're currently going through our Starfinder campaign run by yours truly, with these lovely 3 people, not yours, sorry.
Sorry, us.
Bill, Ellen, Chris, who couldn't be here, and Karma as well. And
Taking themselves up.
obviously, stay tuned as the season progresses, because at some point in the future, we'll be able to talk about what is in store for season 9 and beyond. So keep those eyes and ears open, unstitch them, and get out of your Iron Maidens. And yeah, that's kind of us. And obviously follow us individually, all the good stuff. And thank you so much again for joining us.
Do press
Thank you,
like
everyone.
below us right here before you leave.
like
Press that like button. Leave a little comment on the VOD. Come back, leave a little comment. Tell us what you thought. What was your favourite room? And we'll see you on the next one.
Who is the next one, by the way?
We'll work it out.
We'll figure that out.
We'll figure it out. We'll let you know.
Alrighty.
Mwah.
Well, thank you very much, everyone, and we'll see you all next month. And thank you, Yoz, again for joining us.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.